How y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about why the dirt sheets continue to be the absolute gutter of sports journalism. Because Bruce Mitchell posted an article not 24 hours after we find out that Brodie Lee passed. He puts out an article basically questioning whether AEW and his family are covering up a COVID death. Yes, I'm going to read it for you. I'm not going to read the whole thing because most of it is just a summary of Brodie Lee's career. We're going to start with the bullshit. Okay, so here we go. AEW and WWE had already been compromising pandemic health standards by gathering in Florida to even have events. It's no secret that both companies, WWE in particular, have not been transparent to the consequences to the people involved of even putting on these shows. They both continue to run even when bigger money, more popular cultural entities like the NFL, the NCAA, the NBA, and Major League Baseball stopped, then cut back on events. The decision to do this didn't just put the independent contractors and their families at risk, but strengthened the pandemic itself by compromising social distancing, thereby strengthening the virus, putting everybody everywhere at more risk of getting sick and dying. Oh boy. It's also evident to anyone who knows professional wrestling history that companies have long covered up the health risks involved in the lifestyles and standards the business often requires. Look no further than how WWE reacted in the wake of the Chris Benoit murder-suicide for a strong, irresponsible example. Wrestlers and wrestler families who wanted to stay employed in the business also participated in these compromises in exchange for employment or even the possibility of future employment. The head of the table isn't just a storyline. Then Brodie Lee disappeared. Understandably, in the COVID-19 era, the silence surrounding his absence led to many, myself included, wondering whether he had contracted the virus. AEW and Lee's family kept a very tight lid on what was going on with him and how serious Lee's medical situation actually was. It turned out to so serious that he was being treated at the Mayo Clinic for it. With his passing, Brodie Lee's wife issued a statement noting the enormous support his family had received from AEW and the doctors at the Mayo Clinic during his sick illness. She stated after her husband had died with, quote, after a hard-fought battle with a non-COVID related lung issue. That leaves the issue, though, of why Brodie Lee, his family, and AEW kept such a tight lid on information during his illness. People who have had COVID-19 have gotten lung damage that remained after the virus had left their system, and then they tested negatively for it. This could be what Lee's wife meant, that he had already recovered from a bout with COVID-19 and was then suffering from this lung issue. Why would the family and AEW stay so quiet about what was going on if it was not COVID-19 related at all? Our country as a whole has not effectively worked together to lower the odds of the pandemic growing, and now we're in the midst of a surge that has made COVID-19 more dangerous than before. Do you know people who have suffered and died from COVID-19 now? I do. There's even the possibility that the virus has mutated to become even more deadly. Vaccines may very well turn out to be effective in the fight to push back COVID-19, but at best, that pushback is months away. There's no guarantee in the face of this that pro wrestling or the NCAA or any other major sports league will see their way clear to continue in the face of how strong the pandemic surge is now. The one thing that will put a stop to any of these sports faster than anything else is the death of a major player, like the University of Florida Gators college football star Keontae Johnson, who was put on a ventilator after collapsing on the court during a game, or a major national TV pro wrestling star dying because of something related to this. I'm not a doctor, but I've never heard of an athlete the size and in the shape Brodie Lee was in to be able to excel in his last two matches, suddenly developing a lung condition that serious that quickly. Whatever the circumstances, Brodie Lee's family and AEW both would serve his memory best by being forthright, whatever they are, about all the circumstances surrounding his death, thereby honoring him by allowing us all to make the best informed decisions possible protecting everyone's health. This was written by Bruce Mitchell on the PWTorch. So this guy, not even a full day after Brodie Lee passes, is suggesting that AEW and his wife are conspiring to lie to everyone online. These people are the absolute gutter rats of sports journalism. And sports journalists are already in the gutter. They're already in the mud. Wrestling reporters are even worse. This is not reporting, this is commentary, okay? This is not, you're not adding anything. This is, his wife might be lying. This is, AEW might be hiding something. Okay, now, here's the thing, dog. A lot of people have been really harping on this whole COVID thing, right? They really been beating the drum heavy. Some people heavier than others. It's unfortunate what happened to Brodie Lee. We don't know if he had a long history of lung problems. We don't know. Nobody is sitting here with his charts. We don't know. Okay? It might have been irresponsible for him to continue to work during the pandemic in the first place. We don't know. We don't know. So why are we speculating? Why are these vampires speculating? Why, when his friends are still posting their thoughts, some of whom had not said anything the day before, why are the vampires out now trying to do this shit? Why? Why? You couldn't wait a week? You couldn't wait a week and a half? The moment the guy is dead, we have to start acting like we have to start asking these questions. That whether it's a conspiracy, he's been dead a day. 1 day. They can't do anything in that amount of time. Is it possible that he died something COVID related? It's entirely possible. I don't think his wife is a doctor. So she only knows what she's been told. And if she's been told it was non-COVID, and then she told us it was non-COVID, then goddamn it, until some doctor or until an autopsy is done, then it's non-COVID. Why are we asking this question? Why would his wife need to lie? Now then, this is the situation, right? He suggests that the wife is lying because of she wants to stay in the business, or that there's a need of money, which there will likely be. There will likely be a need of money. But to suggest that is ugly. It is absolutely disgusting. This is ugly, ugly shit. It's ugly shit. Okay, now, I don't know what to say, man. Now, the one thing, at least motherfuckers is consistent. Because if this guy was under WWE contract, they would have said the same thing. And in fact, probably more people would have said it if he was under WWE contract. They'd have been like, oh shit, all these people died under Vince, and he pays them money to say whatever, because that's what they believe. They believe that he just paid the Harts, and the Harts double crossed Owen's wife and all that type of stuff. They didn't do any research into the subject. They also think that he paid off the Nancy Argento's family because Jimmy Snuka killed her and all that type of stuff. See, they believe these conspiracy theories. And so now they're trying to just make conspiracy theories up. It is disgusting, bro. It's disgusting. And I don't know what to tell you, but you can look at the statistics when it comes to this COVID thing. Have an over 99% chance of surviving. Is it possible that he had COVID? Sure. It's also possible that he had COVID and it had nothing to do with this. We don't know. This is irresponsible journalism. And he's being reamed online for it. He is being reamed online for it. I mean, there are people who have read it and are pretty mad. There are people who are pretty mad about it. And I just decided, I can't ignore how stupid this is. It's so insensitive to put this out into the universe, to suggest that his family might be trying to hide something. This is horrible. I just don't understand this. I don't understand why these people expect, first-hand information, like, immediately. Like, this is the type of stuff I was talking about with the Roman Reigns thing, man. Like, these guys, and I'm not going, I can't blame Meltzer for this because Meltzer's not involved. But, like I said, something similar when it was talking about, I asked why the young lady, what was her name? Kylie Ray. Or, no, Kylie Ray? Yeah, Kylie Ray. Why she disappeared from AEW and people were just basically like, mind your business, shut up. But they speculate when it comes to WWE. I mean, I just thought that was weird. As long as she was healthy and alive, I didn't really care. I just wanted to know, like, why we can't ask questions. And I get that you maybe want to ask questions, but you don't imply that the wife is lying. So a lot of people attacked Jonathan Snowden, who is also a wrestling reporter, for his tweet where it came across as if he was backing up Bruce Mitchell. But here's the Jonathan Snowden tweet. You guys, if an athlete or entertainer in any genre was struck down in his prime, say a starting NBA player, the media will report on the details of what happened. It would be understood as being of interest to the public. Okay? And people attacked him for that. I don't believe that he's saying anything wrong here. When somebody dies and they're a public figure, people want to know what happened. What took place? What happened? Okay, we all want to know what happened to Brodie Lee. But we don't speculate about what happened. We don't imply that his family and the company that he works for are conspiring to keep people in the dark. That's not what we do. We ask questions. We like, damn, I wonder how bad it was. Like, a lot of people were wondering, like, oh, he had an unrelated lung issue. Was his lung injured in the match? Like, something could have happened. He could have damaged his lung in the match. Did he have like a history of lung problems? And we don't know. There's nothing wrong with asking that question of, like, how bad was he? Like, did he have a history of it or what? There's nothing wrong with that. But what's wrong is when you basically imply that, the wrestling business has a history of families being on the take and keeping people in the dark. It's like, that's not the appropriate way to do things. That's wrong, man. This guy's a fucking vampire. He's a vampire. And I see now, thanks to another gentleman, Admiral Lord Baron Mount Evans on Twitter, he tangled with Bruce Mitchell before about Bruce Mitchell irresponsibly reporting about Terry Gordy from Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I'm not going to get into that. But apparently this is not the first time he has made these wild comments. He's been doing this stuff a long, long time. On second thought, I saw a little bit more when it comes to the whole Jonathan Snowden thing. He says to Bruce Mitchell that he thought it was brave of Bruce Mitchell to write that article. And I had not seen that. All I saw was the response to his original piece, his original tweet, or the tweet that I read. I didn't know there was another one about the article. I don't see how speculating is brave. And you know what? I saw a lot of people too. I saw a lot of people saying, well, it comes from a place of concern. Like, we're all concerned about the virus, so we should just ignore how people should, keep health details to themselves. The crazy thing is, we tried this stuff, right? Like, remember when it comes, like, some of y'all might not be old enough to remember, right? But when AIDS first hit, people were like, we should just collect everybody who got AIDS and ship them to an island, quarantine them. And then we was told that it was a violation of their human rights. We couldn't do that. We couldn't isolate people who had AIDS. We're not allowed to ask people if they have AIDS. People don't have to tell you if they have AIDS. But for some reason, fucking COVID, you're supposed to go around with a goddamn card, showing your card to everyone to make sure to tell you that I have the virus or whatever. It's like when it's no consistency on this whole thing, And I do believe that if somebody has something that is lethal and you come in contact with them, or it's possible, okay, I give you that. That's why I'm okay with them testing. You test when you go there. These companies are testing people for the virus, unless you don't trust the tests, which, some people don't trust the tests, because there have been people who have said that the tests were inaccurate, That, I saw one singer, I think it was Erica Badu, who said she tested positive in one nostril and negative in another. And, there have been other people who have said that the tests are inaccurate, and there's people who don't trust the vaccine. There's just a lot of stuff going on with this COVID thing. But I don't think it's brave to put the speculation out there. So, okay, I have to back off and say that Jonathan Snowden is a fucking idiot too. But Bruce Mitchell is a ghoul. He's an absolute ghoul. Like, this is a ghoulish article to assume or even suggest that his wife is lying. Not a full day after his death. And there's people out there who want a cause of death and all this type of stuff. It's like, wow, hold on. The guy's been dead a day. He's been dead a day. Let it sit in with people first. Okay, let people at least try to begin to get over it. People are still reacting. People are still telling stories. People are still doing, tributes. We haven't even gotten through the week yet. This is completely irresponsible. There's just no two ways about it. It's completely irresponsible to suggest that the man's wife and AEW are lying. Just like it's irresponsible to do it in any other context. There's no reason for us to think that this is a lie. People have lung problems outside of fucking COVID. It's not like a bullet entered his head and somebody was like, oh, he didn't get shot. It's like, well, he got a fucking bullet hole in his head. That's not the same thing. Okay, people can have lung problems that have nothing to do with COVID. People can develop different issues as well. He could have had cancer. We don't know. We don't know. People have worked through having cancer. Chadwick Boseman did it. Different people have done it. These folks get so obsessive because they want the scoop. They want information. They're so fucking nosy that they forget the humanity part. It's silly to me. If you guys read the PWTorch or any other dirt sheets, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. I thank you guys for your time and your patience, and I'll talk to you guys later.